What if I told you there's a musician who can turn anything into music? Water, animals, kitchen utensils, even your own voice. A man who once jammed with Miles Davis without ever meeting him. A man who made Igrejinha scream in disbelief when she saw what he had written for her to sing. A man who believes that every sound in the world is already music, just waiting to be played. This is the story of Hermeto Pascoal, the albino wizard of Brazilian music, a genius so ahead of his time that even some of the greatest musicians in history had no idea what to do with him. A man whose mind is a universe of sound, unrestricted by tradition, logic, or even physics. If you've never heard of him before, you're in for a wild ride. And if you have, well, buckle up. Hermeto Pascoal was born in 1936 in Lagoa da Canoa, a small village in Alagoas, Brazil. No electricity, no radio, just nature. And that's where his first music lessons came from. The birds, the wind, the animals. Everything around him was a song. His first instrument, a sanfoninha, a small accordion his father gave him. But Hermeto was never satisfied with just one sound. He wanted to explore everything. With no formal music education, he started inventing his own way of playing. He would listen to the sounds of the world and try to replicate them, not just on instruments, but on objects, on his own body, anywhere he could produce a sound. As a teenager, his family moved to Recife and he started playing in local bands. But he quickly realized that what he wanted to do wasn't like anything anyone else was doing. He was never interested in just playing music. He wanted to create it, shape it, bend it, turn it inside out. That attitude led him to Rio de Janeiro and São Paulo, where he formed Quarteto Novo with Airto Moreira, a band that would redefine Brazilian music. They fused jazz with Nordestino rhythms like baio and foro, creating something entirely new. And Hermeto's reputation as an eccentric genius started to grow. That reputation made its way to the United States, where, in 1970, something completely unexpected happened. Miles Davis recorded Hermeto's music. It all started with Airto Moreira, who had just joined Miles' legendary electric band. One day, Airto played some of Hermeto's compositions for Miles. Now, Miles Davis wasn't exactly known for giving compliments, but after hearing Hermeto's music, he decided to record two of his compositions, Igrejinha and Nem Um Talvez, on the album Live Evil. The wildest part, Hermeto wasn't even there. He had no idea Miles was going to do it. And this is where things get even weirder. Miles had a habit of never giving credit to musicians, unless he absolutely had to. But in this case, not only did he record Hermeto's songs, he even let Hermeto keep his own name on the compositions. A rare honor coming from someone as notoriously possessive as Miles. And when journalists later asked Miles about Hermeto, he just laughed and said, "That crazy Brazilian? Yeah, he's good." But Miles wasn't the only one who struggled to keep up with Hermeto's genius. Igrejinha, one of the greatest singers Brazil has ever produced, had her own run-in with Hermeto's madness. She invited him to arrange a song for her, expecting something brilliant. And what she got? Well, it was brilliant, but it was also impossible to sing. When she first saw the sheet music, full of insane harmonies and rhythmic changes, she reportedly screamed, "Hermeto, you want me to sing or have a stroke?" But that was the thing about Hermeto. He didn't care if something was difficult. He wasn't trying to make music that was easy or comfortable. He was trying to make music that was alive. And that's exactly what he did, in the most unpredictable ways. Because if there's one thing Hermeto Pascoal is known for, besides his white hair and endless energy, it's his ability to make music out of anything. He plays water, he plays pigs, he plays glass bottles, teapots, plastic toys. If it makes a sound, Hermeto will turn it into music. Once, he even played an entire concert underwater, using his breath to create rhythms while submerged in a swimming pool. To him, there is no difference between a saxophone and a frying pan. No difference between a grand piano and a bucket of water. In his mind, everything is already music. The musician's job is just to listen and bring it to life. And this philosophy extends beyond sound. Hermeto sees music visually. He once said he can see harmonies in colors, that he can feel rhythms like different textures. And maybe that's why he never fit neatly into any one genre. He's too wild for classical music, too complex for pop, too Brazilian for jazz, and too jazzy for Brazilian music. He exists in his own dimension, one where anything is possible, as long as you're willing to let go of logic and just listen. And perhaps the most mind-blowing thing he ever did was in 1996, when he published a book called Calendário do Som. In it, he wrote 365 songs, one for each day of the year. And then he did something that no musician had ever done before. He gave it all away for free. He declared that anyone in the world could play, record, and perform his compositions without paying him a cent. No copyrights, no royalties, just pure, unrestricted music. Who does that? A genius, that's who. Today, Hermeto Pascoal is recognized as one of the most innovative musicians in history. Artists like Chick Corea, Pat Metheny, and even John Zorn cite him as an influence. His music is studied in universities. His ideas have inspired countless musicians, from jazz to experimental electronic music. And yet, despite all this, he remains a true outsider, never chasing fame, never compromising, always following his own chaotic, brilliant vision. And that's why Hermeto isn't just a great musician. He's something more than that. He's proof that music has no boundaries, that instruments don't matter, that technique is just a tool, but imagination is everything. So, what do you think? Is Hermeto Pascoal the craziest musician of all time, or the most brilliant, or both? Let me know in the comments. And if you love deep dives into the wildest corners of music history, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss what's coming next. Because if Hermeto taught us anything, it's that the best music isn't the one that follows the rules. It's the one that makes its own rules.